Hello and good day. In this video, I'll be discussing and showing you about how to install and configure the SSH server and as well as the web server that includes Apache, MySQL, and as well as PHP. In short, it's a LAMP stack: Linux, Apache, PHP, and MySQL. Now let's proceed on logging in. So first, enter your username and then the password. After that, you need to change your or switch to the root privilege. And then after that, you need to update and upgrade your system by typing the command sudo apt and update, and the other one, the sudo apt and upgrade. So it will upgrade and update your system by fetching all of the resources found on the live server of the Ubuntu or Linux. Now, in order to install SSH server, you need to type in the terminal the command sudo apt-get install open SSH server. With this, you will fetch and download all of the necessary files and resources that can be found on the live server of the OpenSSH website and or the server. After the process is done and you have successfully installed SSH to your machine, you can now enable the SSH server by typing sudo systemctl enable SSH, which means that you are enabling the SSH service. After enabling, you can now start the SSH service by typing sudo systemctl start SSH, and by viewing if the SSH server is really active or running, you can check it by typing sudo systemctl status SSH, and from that it will display the SSH that the service is currently running and or it's active and it's properly installed. As you can see, the service is active and it's currently running, and also you can view how many memory or how much memory the service is using, and also you can see what type of port is this service is using. Now in order to proceed on installing Apache, PHP, and as well as the MySQL, in which Apache is our web server, we must switch to the desktop type. So in order to install or download the desktop version of this Ubuntu OS, we need to type in on our terminal the sudo apt install task cell, in which it is the tool it's the tool that can help us download the desktop version of Ubuntu. After the task cell is downloaded and is on the machine, we can now use it to download the Ubuntu desktop version. So in order to attain it, we will type on the terminal the sudo task cell install Ubuntu desktop, and after that it will download all of the necessary files from the live server. And you need a lot of patience for this because it depends on the machine on how powerful it is, For example, on my machine, I only shared 3 gigabytes of RAM on my virtual host, and so it took a lot of time to wait and to witness how it was and to witness the progress and how it was being applied to our local machine. Now the Ubuntu desktop version is downloaded and installed in our machine. So with this, we can see that the graphical interface of our Ubuntu OS is not the terminal anymore or the CLI. It's the graphical interface of this Ubuntu OS. And also we can see the my account and as well as our newly created account when we executed the activity in which we are trying to add a new user about the sudo or the switch user do, and yeah, that's the username that we entered. So with that, let's continue on logging in with our account. Here we can see that we are on the Ubuntu desktop, and we can see that it has a great interface, a minimal interface, and moving on from that, I forgot to record the part where I started the SSH server, and as well as typing the commands for installing PHP. Now, as you can see, using the command sudo systemctl start SSH and enable SSH, and as well as the status of the SSH server, we can see that our SSH server is currently active and running. Installing PHP, we need to type in on our command sudo apt install PHP. So after that, we can check the version of our of the newly installed PHP language, and you can see that it's 7.4.3. So in order to test if the PHP language is properly installed, or just to test it on our local machine, we can create a sample PHP file containing the PHP information. So with that, we will try to create a file using our terminal. So when creating a file, we need to first create a directory. So using the mkdir, the folder name test, we can create a directory, a folder on our desktop. I mean the folder name is sample, and then the command touch index.php, it means that we need it creates a file the named index and with an extension .php. From here, we'll try to create a file that contains PHP information, just to see if our PHP was properly installed. Here we are going to establish a local host by typing the command php -s localhost 3000. Paste it on our browser and see if the PHP was properly installed. So in this case, we haven't displayed the PHP information because of the reason that we didn't put PHP on our tag. We didn't put PHP tag on the file. So let's change it a bit. There, PHP. Refresh, and as you can see, the PHP version or the PHP information is displayed on our browser. That means that we successfully installed the PHP language on our machine. And now let's proceed on installing our MySQL server or the MySQL or MySQL. So with that, let's try to type it on our terminal, the command sudo apt-get install MySQL-server. With this, it will request data and resources from the MySQL server. And after installation, to check whether the MySQL is properly installed, we can check the version of it by typing MySQL -v. It will show the version of our MySQL. So next is to test it if MySQL is really currently in our local machine. So to test that, we are going to navigate to our MySQL directory and type in the command show databases. And if we try to access our database, just input the command MySQL -u. It means that our username is the default, the root, and space -p, the password. Since we don't have any password, so leave it blank. And after that, we can display again our databases, and also we can create our own databases. So that is it for our video, and I hope that you like and that you enjoyed our video, and as well as you learned something from my presentation. With that, this is Raymar Sumange, and my biggest thanks for you for playing and watching this video, and thank you so much.